Yo, YouTube, good morning. It's early on a Thursday. I thought I'd make this video about what I do for my daily routine when selling sports cards. Check this out. The first thing I do in the morning here is fire up the old laptop. I use this little mini Asus laptop. It's done me very well. Alright, so once I'm in here, you can see this is just my little office laptop. It doesn't have a lot on it. It's pretty simple. And then the first thing I want to do is get into eBay, since that's where we live for the day, essentially. Get rid of some junk here. So I'm going to load eBay. All right, and this is going to bring up my order filling screen. So these are all orders I have to ship today. You can see it's a pretty fair amount. It's going to take me a while. Zoom. But anyway, so that's the first thing that loads up. But what I want to show is kind of how I run through my day. I don't do orders first thing. First thing I do is go to my listings, and I do my end listings and sell similar. So I just end 200 listings at a time. Sometimes I do it once a day, sometimes I do it twice a day, sometimes I don't do it all in a day. Really depends on what's going on. It takes a second to load. Okay. So I'm going to just go to end listings. The reason I do 200 is when I click that little all of them on a page button, it's 200 listings. So I just go with that. Try to keep this quick and simple. There's lots of other stuff to do today. Okay. So there I ended them. So now I'm going to go to my ended listings, which should on the top bring up all the 200 that I ended. Okay, so we've got this first one here is this John Elway. I like to look at what the first card is so I can remember, so I know which batch I'm uploading. So again, I just do the upload all. It'll pick up the first 50 of those 200. Click edit all, submit. All right, those 50 listings are now relisted. So now when I go back into the unsold listeds page, go back to ended. Okay, when we come down here, there's our John Elway again. So we know we listed that batch. So we're going to now delete those because you don't want more than one copy. All right, next one has this Ultra Derek Jeter first. So relist those. Or sell similar to those. Oops. And a little bump in the road there. There's 49 out of 50. Okay. So there's our Derek Jeter listing again. So we're going to go, I'm actually going to click sell similar again because I want to grab the one that didn't upload. So here's a little trick on how I do that. So I'll go submit. There it says 50 listings you see this time. It's going to say 1 listed, 49 didn't because of errors, which is perfect. So we want to hit exit. We don't want those to relist. So it'll notice that you're trying to do a duplicate listing. So all it did was list the one that was missing in with the previous error. All right, so we'll delete that batch. Those are loaded. Now this one is the Optic Digs. We'll sell similar. Yes. It noticed there was things we left on the table on the last one, so it asks us if we want to We look at those. We don't. We want to do this batch. I'm going through this kind of quick now because I've already shown how I do it. And I don't want this to eat up all the time in the video. Okay, so there's our optic digs. So we're going to delete. And I think we have one more batch. Yep, we have optic Elliott. So we're going to go sell similar on this batch. Submit all 50. Now, once this is done, I want to stay in the ended listings because I know some of the stuff I listed yesterday, I ended some items because I had duplicate listings, which happens over time when you get stuff and you don't remember if you had any or whatnot. So I want to end this, 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 and this. So I'm going to delete all these up to where the auction level is because those are actually ended auctions that didn't sell. I want to relist those later. So then we delete those. So now our listings are all set and ready to go for today to build on. All right, so now we've got our ended listings for the morning done, relisted. Going to pump some sales. I already got a couple of notifications for some offers, couple sales. So that's just a quick, easy thing to do without listing any new cards, which you'll see that later in this video. Sell some of that older inventory because when I'm ending those listings, I'm doing the oldest 200 listings. So it's literally the oldest inventory that I have in my store. The second thing I like to do right away in the morning is look at orders that haven't been paid for yet and send out invoices. I get this a lot with accepting multiple offers and then sending an invoice, and I think the person who made the offer just kind of forgets about it or doesn't go back in to pay or whatever. So basically anything that's a day or two old, I will just send an invoice and see if I can get a payment on that. So delete the pop-up. So here I have this Justin Herbert hype card that I accepted an offer on. I'm just going to simply click send the invoice. And then I don't go to send another invoice, it takes it to a different version of the invoice screen, and I like this one better. So it should automatically pop the next one to the top that hasn't recently been sent an invoice. So you just click on that one, send invoice, and just sort of go down the line. Anything I got yesterday, or obviously today, I'm not going to send an invoice reminder on. I try to not get in the way of myself too much here. Today is the 17th, I think? Yeah, 17th. So I got a couple more from the 16th. I'll send an invoice reminder on those real quick. And then anything I got from today will just sit there until hopefully it gets paid today, and then it's no big deal. Otherwise, if it takes another day, then I will be starting to send invoices on that one. With this little Nolan Ryan card here, I got out of a quarter box. I'll hit send on that one. And that's it. Then all my invoices are sent for the day for reminders. And I do find that that helps me to complete those sales and not have them get canceled and relisted. I hate to get a sale and it not get paid for or get completed. So once I have the eBay morning work done, then I kind of go over to my little packing area here and just make sure I have supplies. Kind of running low on top loads. Those go through a ton since that's my main shipping material. So I got another stack here out of my supply cabinet. I have a fair amount of business cards. I'm good with that for right now. A fair amount of sleeves, wide sleeves, bigger sleeves that I use for multiple cards. I use these little tins that the Match Attacks, some of the Match Attacks packs come in. They work perfect to put the sleeves in. It's way easier than getting them in and out of like these little bags or just having them slide all around. They fit in there perfect, so I use those. And it does allow me to easily separate out the wide ones versus the single card ones. Then I have some savers here. I might even want to grab a few more of those. We'll see. There's a fair supply there, and I don't use those quite as commonly as the top loads. And then my immediate envelope supply, which over here I have a pretty good rack of boxes of envelopes. I try to keep as many on hand as I can. And then my bubble mailers are over here. And then I have extra packing slip stickers as well. And I see I actually have some Sports Illustrated for Kids cards up there. I stuck them up there. I kind of forgot about that. So I'll be grabbing those down as well. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is pull our orders for the morning, day, night, whatever, whenever the last order came in. We're going to try to get as many of those pulled, packed, and either run out for my postal delivery person, or I'll run them. I actually live like less than a half a mile from our local hub where the main pickup is. I'll just run them over there. They do have a drive-through box. They've got some package boxes inside, right inside the door, so it's pretty simple and quick run to go and drop stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and get all these orders picked and return back to the video at that point, and we'll take a look at the packing and shipping process.
2 hours later.
Now I have the cards all pulled and neatly stacked that are going to need to be sent out for shipping. I'm going to go back into my eBay here. And again, we're going to go to our orders awaiting shipping. I actually had 5 more orders since I've had this up because it says 37. I now have 42 orders. Anyway, we're going to click on that link to pull up the orders. Now this is going to list them how I have it set up. I have them as oldest order listed first because I always want to try to pack the oldest order first to make sure that things get out on time. But the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the listing, all the order list here, and compare it to my stack and see if any of them can be combined. Sometimes customers pay for single cards, and I want to make sure that I ship them together, of course, to save as much money on the shipping and packaging as possible. So that's what we're going to do next. We're going to get all these not packed up like enveloped, but we're going to get them all top loaded or card savered. Here's my supplies here. Get them all in their appropriate supplies and ready to go so that I can just print the label from here on my thermal printer, put my piece of tape over the opening, get it into an envelope here, attach the label, and it's off and ready to go. I do have a pile here already ready to go. I did sell a book as well, so I kind of have that ready to go. I have the box and everything for it. I just sort of have to bubble wrap it and get it in the box and taped up and get that posted as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get these all put together, and then I can show you how I actually print the order slip and get it ready to go. All right, and through the magic of editing, you can see there that they've got them instantly all packed and ready to go. So I have a couple of double packs here. I made a video about this, how I pack, when it's multiple cards. So there's 5 or 6 cards here. Not really that many, but they're thicker. Some thicker illusions cards, optic, stuff like that. And then a small lot of some Nicktoons, Ren and Stimpy stuff. It's like 8 cards. Just a few too many to put into one card saver, so I split it into 2, and then I'll put it in a business envelope. But anyway, so once I have these packed up, I don't have them all taped off or anything other than the double packs. But you can see in that 10 minutes of time or less, I actually have 2 more orders. I'm up to 45 now. And that happens all day long. That's why I try to pack 2 or 3 times a day. Do it in like waves, so you don't have like 200 orders sitting there for a 12-hour period of time or 15-hour period of time. Anyway, then I go right in here, and like I said, it should be the oldest order first. So I go to purchase the label. It's going to automatically generate. Oh yeah, gotta have a pop-up first, of course. It's going to automatically generate my label info. So here's the order that we're shipping. This is going to be a 2-ounce package. Since it's 2 card savers and it's going into a business envelope. So we're going to do a 2-ounce shipping, and it should automatically change that to the right price. So I always make sure I check that first before I hit purchase, because once you buy the label, you buy the label. Now, one other thing I should point out, I have my feedback set to auto feedback once I receive payment, so I did not have to do anything for feedback on any of these. I can literally just pack them up and ship them out. So I'm going to purchase the label, and I'll grab an envelope right away. So here's an envelope, and we always send a business card. So here comes the label. You can see everything's filled and ready to go. Hit print, and it prints right out right there, nice and conveniently. Tear it off. It's a sticker label. So I'll get this packed up. Kind of hard to do with one hand, so I'm actually going to take a break. I'll pack it up, and then I'll show you what it looks like after it's packed. Alright, so it's all nice and cozy in there now. All you have to do is peel your label off paper backing. I think I can do this with one hand, we'll see. And for the big ones like this, the envelope's a little wider, so I don't have to fold the sticker at all, which is kind of nice. I just have to try to place it on there as centered as I can, so we don't have a bunch of sticker overlap, and then that one's ready to go. And then on to the next one. Alright, so here's how I pack a single card. Now in this case, it's actually going in a Card Saver Pro, or Ultra Pro, whatever, because it's thicker. Again, it's another Illusions card. So normally I would just top load it and ship it, but we need a little bit different holder for this one. So again, we're going to go through the same process. Make sure you're at your 63-cent shipping, purchase and print the label, and then for packing this one, it just goes in the small envelope. So I've got my card and the card with the small envelope. I don't use the big envelopes on most orders. I just don't think it's necessary. And a little lick and shut here. These envelopes I try to get at Walmart when I can get them in stock. And there's my label. So how I stick these ones on, pull this off here. So how I apply this one is I put it slightly over the flap just to add some sealant to that top part, stick it on real good, and then I simply turn it over and I fold the label over the back side, stick the rest of it on there. So it's on there real good, nice and flat, keeps the top seal part sealed really nice, and it's ready to go. Alright, there it is. That's all the mail that has to go out this morning. I'll probably pack a little bit more maybe this afternoon. I have 7 or 8 more orders that I didn't pack that were coming in while I had this going on. So heavy sales day, which is always good. And then in this case, I'm not going to run it out to my carrier. I'm going to take them with me and take them to the postal hub because I have a couple other errands to run. But many days I don't even really have to leave the house. I just put them in a plastic bag and drop them off to my carrier. But these will go with me today. So right now it's about 10:30 a.m.-ish, somewhere around there. So I got a lot done already this morning. Pretty pleased with that. And that's about it for my PC eBay work that I do for the day, unless I go back to pack more orders. I pretty much just use it as a packing station. Other than maybe a couple spreadsheets, I look at some of the reports. They're easier to see on there as opposed to my phone. But then I will try to spend a majority of my day listing. So I have quite a bit of Sports Illustrated for Kids stuff I just got in. I've got some non-sports, some Ren and Stimpy, some real bangers that I get good sales out of that I want to get added in. So try to keep getting those listing numbers up. You want to keep getting the sales, but you want to keep increasing the listings as well. So I try, if I have 200, cards sold in a day, I try to list at least 200 in a day. So that bare minimum, I'm keeping pace. You do have some slower sales days here and there. Mondays can be a little bit slower, things like that. Or maybe you have a decent sales day money-wise, but just not a lot of quantity of cards. So you have to kind of go with the flow a little bit on that. That's just how retail business works. Um, using the promotions and things like that adds a lot of consistency and gets you regular sales numbers. But yeah, otherwise, just kind of take it day by day. And for as much free time as I can get, free time as I can coordinate in the day, I like to use that to do listings. So I got a little bit of listing done right before lunch, and now that it's after lunch, I had to run a couple errands, dropped off some mail. So that's a general part of my workday. Now it's going to be time to do some listing, some heavier listing. I just got a full set of South Park cards in. Pretty hard to find, and I was really excited to get a full set at a decent price. I want to get those listed right away. I think they'll sell very well. There's not a lot of individual card sellers of that set, and I've done so well with Beavis and Butthead and Ren and Stimpy and some of that type of stuff that South Park should do very well for me. So that's what's next. I flipped the camera over here so you could kind of see. So this is what we've got. I sorted these a bit. I put the set together by number, so card number 1 through card number 70, the checklist. And I'm going to kind of list them in order that way. As far as how I price them, I want to do basically like the header card, which is kind of cool, and then on the back it's got their standard disclaimer that was always on before the show. You can see these are 1998 Comic Images is the maker of the cards. And then some of the main characters I'll charge more for too. Like this is the Eric Cartman card, which is card number 2. Obviously, he's quite a star of the show. So those I'll charge more for. And then if we kind of get down the pile here, where you're going to see more of just like a scene from an episode. This is from Big Gay Al's Big Gay Boat Ride. Those I'll charge a little bit less because they're not as specific and people won't want to grade them as much and things like that, where they'll pay up for the single card. So we'll go ahead and get these listed. I did end up getting a fair amount of stuff listed for today. Not all this got listed today. Some of this is stuff that just needs to get put away. This is all listed, but didn't do it all at this particular time. But I did get all the South Park stuff listed. I did get the rest of the Yo MTV Raps cards listed, which actually they have been selling okay. So I think those were worth that effort. And then I got a bunch of Sports Illustrated for Kids stuff listed. I have a ton of that left to go. This is my to be listed pile. Kind of my immediate little stack of stuff to be listed. I try to sort them by year and then list them that way, because when you have like 1,000 of them, it gets cumbersome because they're all different years, all different styles and things like that. But anyway, that's still on the listing list for me. I did have a few other things to do in the afternoon, and I made some dinner, things like that. So working from home has its privileges that way. But looking to probably list another 300 to 400 cards, maybe tonight or early in the morning when I get up. But this is probably listed about 200 cards there or so, plus maybe another 100 Sports Illustrated for Kids cards that I already put them away in the drawer. So I probably have about 300 to 350 that I listed today. I can go back check the listing numbers, but that would be my estimate. It's not bad for one day. That's it. That's basically my day in a nutshell on an average day. There are obviously some other things that can happen. I can get some products in, and I have to kind of go through some of that. Like I did the South Park cards today. I have to sort of reorganize things, get ready to list. I have to research, previous sold listings, try to look at some prices, see how they've been listed to successfully sell, and so forth. And then some maintenance, of course. You got to go back and make sure listings are accurate, things like that. So there's those other things that pop up as well, but the average daily routine is about the same. So hopefully you like this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you do. Leave a comment if you have any suggestions, comments, things you enjoyed about the video, didn't like about the video, and so forth. And ring that bell so that you're subscribed and get notifications for any future videos. As always, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate your support, and we'll see you again